Disney was warned for years their live-action Snow White remake would suck. They ignored it and made a total dumpster fire. It's a $250 million bomb, pulling in just $87 million, 70% gone. Theaters are empty. IMDb slaps it with a 1.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes a pathetic 20%. The CGI dwarves? Nightmare fuel. The little people they ditched? Suing Disney. Walt's turning in his grave. He begged them not to mess with his classic, but they cast Rachel Zegler, who turned it into a woke disaster and tanked it. This is a mess. Let's dive in, starting with how she got the gig. Back in 2018, Rachel Zegler's just a 16-year-old nobody from New Jersey, singing her heart out in school plays. Her friend spots a tweet about an open casting call for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. She records a shaky audition. Bernardo and Anita, are you all mourning about a fight tonight? And fires it off. Out of 30,000 hopefuls, Spielberg picks her for Maria. No agent, no Hollywood hookup, just raw talent. The film drops. She's a breakout star, snags a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. People start muttering industry plant. How does a random kid get this lucky? Then Disney taps her for Snow White. She tweets, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role." And the internet explodes. The 1937 cartoon and fairy tale say Snow White's got skin as white as snow. It's literally her name. Zegler's Colombian, olive-skinned, and fans are like, huh? Some cry racism, others call it pandering, like The Little Mermaid with Bailey, but most just scratch their heads. She deletes the tweet, claims it's a new version about surviving a snowstorm as a baby. Sure, Rachel, sounds like a stretch, and it's only the beginning of this fiasco. Zegler doesn't just take the role. She grabs a sledgehammer and smashes the original story to bits. In a Variety interview, she's all, "It's not 1937 anymore. She's not gonna be saved by the prince. She's dreaming about being a leader. No romance, just girl boss vibes." She trashes the classic. The cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. Big focus on her love story with a guy who stalks her. Weird, weird. That's Prince Charming she's dunking on, from Walt's groundbreaking first animated feature, his pride and joy. Fans lose it. Twitter's ablaze with, "Why not make a new story instead of gutting this one?" And she's stripping the roots of a classic. She doubles down. "I was scared of the original cartoons. Watched it once. Never again. I'm serious."
Scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
But then on the press tour, she's flashing pics of herself as a kid in a Snow White dress, gushing, "I always dreamed of being her." Pick a lane, Rachel. Her flip-flopping and sarcastic weird jab at a beloved icon make her sound like she's mocking fans who grew up loving it. Disney's all in, letting her and the writers ditch the fairy tale's heart for a modern twist. Fans aren't having it. Comments flood in. This isn't Snow White. It's some random feminist fanfic. And Walt's legacy deserves better than this trash. They're right. It's a betrayal of everything that a 1937 film stood for, and Zegler's smug attitude only fans the flames. Her attitude? A total PR nightmare. For Shazam, Fury of the Gods, she smirks, "I needed a job. I'm being so serious." Snarky, fine. Actors need gigs. But then the 2023 writers' strike hits. Writers are starving. Residuals gutted by streaming giants like Netflix and Hulu. Zegler wades in. "If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour it's streamed online."
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Excuse me? She's raking in millions while writers can't pay rent, and she's whining? The internet erupts. She's entitled as hell, and everything people hate about Gen Z in one person. Her rep tanks hard. Fans swear, "She's the reason I'm skipping this movie." Disney's sweating. Rumors swirl they might scrap it entirely. Then she goes full meltdown post-Trump's 2024 win, posting, "Another 4 years of hatred. I'm heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. May Trump supporters never know peace." Half the country's pissed. Conservative outlets scream, "Disney's star just alienated millions." Disney scrambles, reportedly forcing her to apologize and hiring a social media babysitter to vet her post before the March 21st, 2025 debut. Too late, her unfiltered rants have torched her image and Disney's stuck with the fallout. The dwarves? A colossal screw-up. Peter Dinklage fires the first shot. They're proud to cast a Latina Snow White, but you're still doing that backward story about 7 dwarves in a cave. What the hell are you doing? Disney Freaks swaps the dwarves for magical creatures of all sizes and genders. Leaked set pics hit X. Think medieval times rejects, not iconic sidekicks. Disney's like me's, not real. Nobody's buying it. They pivot to CGI, churning out dwarves so freaky they'd scare kids out of theaters. Grumpy and Dopey get some lines. The other 5, blurry background props. Fans can't even name them. Little people are furious. Actress Allie Chapman, 3 of 8, rages. 7 talented little people actors could have played these roles, but they chose cartoons. It's an insult and discriminatory. A class action lawsuit slams Disney for sidelining real actors. Insiders whisper it's a cost-cutting stunt. CGI is cheaper than hiring and accommodating a full cast. Fans pile on. Where's the live action in this CGI mess? And they butchered the dwarves to dodge backlash and still screwed it up. Disney's pandering backfires spectacularly, trying to please everyone. They've pissed off everyone instead. It's a foggy highway pileup of bad decisions, and the wreckage keeps growing. And there's the Zegler versus Gal Gadot showdown. Fans clock the tension in 2023-2024 interviews. Gadot's all smiles while Zegler speaks. Zegler stares at her shoes when Gadot's up. The trailer drops, 120 million views in 24 hours, and Zegler tweets, "Thanks for the support, and always remember Free Palestine." Some cheer, others see a jab at Gadot, an Israeli ex-soldier who's backed the IDF and hostages from the October 7th Hamas attack. Gadot's hit with death threats. Disney scrambles, hiring her a security detail. Producer Mark Platt jets from LA to NYC, begging Zegler, "Shut it down, this movie's got hundreds of millions riding on it." Platt's son snaps online, "My dad had to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her politics into a multi-million-dollar Disney gig. Tens of thousands of workers depend on this." Zegler keeps ranting. Post-election, she's on Instagram. "Vote blue, it's non-negotiable. I'm speechless, heartbroken. A world hard to raise my daughter in." She's got no kid, by the way. Fans ditch the film, keep politics out of kids' movies, and she's tanking it with every word. Disney's marketing team's in chaos. Trailers get ratioed. Hype fizzles. The clash poisons the film's vibe, and it's a straight shot to disaster. March 21st, 2025, Snow White belly flops, pulling $87.3 million against a $250 million budget. Maybe $300 million with reshoots. That's a 70% loss. One of Disney's ugliest bombs. Zegler's delusional. The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up. I hope they'll see me despite my flaws. Nope, nobody's lining up. They're boycotting. It's a snooze. CGI's cheap, colors are drab, the evil queen's a yawn. The Little Mermaid clawed back to $569 million after a shaky start. This won't. Zegler's fine. Great pipes, solid acting, but she can't save this mess. Walt Disney was obsessed with Snow White. Nick's sequels like Snow White Returns insisted it stay a standalone masterpiece. Disney ignored him, let Zegler run amok, and paid the price. Fans roared, "She's insufferable! I'm not paying!" And don't ruin classics. Make new stories. They meant it. Ticket sales prove it. Disney's out hundreds of millions, and the internet's not faking its rage. People won. Disney's screwed. Hollywood's broader mess shines through. Art versus cash. Pandering versus legacy. This flop's a warning. Mess with the classics, and you'll bleed green.